Please, Mrs. Catherine, you can't do this to me. Not now, I'm begging you.
You're listening to Z Narrations. She was called just a nanny. But one night, her knowledge saved a child's life and exposed the cruelty hiding behind wealth and power. Grace woke up at 5:30 in the morning as the alarm rang. The kitchen was cold and dark when she walked in, exhaustion clear on her face. Still, there was determination in her eyes. Grace reminded herself that another day had begun, and her younger sister back home depended on her. Failure was not an option. As Grace prepared breakfast, Mrs. Catherine entered the kitchen. Her tone was sharp and impatient. She angrily questioned why Olivia's school uniform was not ironed yet. Grace calmly explained that she had been cleaning until midnight and had just started breakfast. Before she could finish, Mrs. Catherine cut her off. She said this was exactly why Grace had been hired, adding that people like her needed discipline. Then came the sentence that hurt the most. Mrs. Catherine mocked her, saying she could not even succeed as a doctor in her own country. Grace felt the pain deeply, but she chose silence and continued working. Later that afternoon, Grace was helping 8-year-old Olivia with homework. The room was filled with laughter. Olivia hugged Grace and told her she was very smart. Innocently, Olivia asked why Grace worked there when her mother said she was just a nanny. Grace smiled gently and explained that sometimes people must sacrifice their dreams for the ones they love. She shared that she sent money home to help her sick sister. At that moment, Jason walked in. His voice carried mockery and arrogance. He made cruel jokes about Grace's background and her life in Africa. Olivia defended Grace and told Jason to stop, but he laughed it off, saying Grace should feel lucky just to be there. Grace quietly turned away, her eyes filling with tears. That night, everything changed. Olivia suddenly screamed in pain, clutching her stomach. Grace rushed in immediately. One careful check was enough. Her medical instincts woke up instantly. Grace knew this was serious. She urgently told Mrs. Catherine that Olivia might be suffering from appendicitis and that emergency services needed to be called immediately. Mrs. Catherine brushed it off at first, assuming it was overeating. Grace raised her voice and said something she had never dared to say before. She said she was a doctor, and if they waited, Olivia could die. Shocked by Grace's confidence, Mrs. Catherine finally made the emergency call. The ambulance arrived just in time. The next day at the hospital, the doctor explained that Olivia was extremely lucky. Another hour of delay and her appendix would have ruptured. When asked who recognized the symptoms so quickly, Mrs. Catherine hesitated. She attempted to take credit, but Mr. David stepped in and directly acknowledged Grace's role. Grace stood quietly and said she simply could not allow anything to happen to Olivia. The doctor asked if Grace had medical training. Grace explained that she had been a doctor in Nigeria, but her qualifications were not recognized in the UK. Mr. David looked deeply troubled, while Mrs. Catherine appeared uncomfortable and silent. That evening, Grace received a phone call that shattered her. Her sister needed emergency surgery. The cost was far beyond what Grace had. Gathering all her courage, Grace approached Mrs. Catherine and politely asked for a £500 salary advance. She explained that without surgery, her sister might not survive. Mrs. Catherine responded coldly. She said money would actually be deducted from Grace's salary due to broken plates the previous week. Grace broke down and begged, explaining she had worked 12-hour days for 6 months without overtime. She pleaded for mercy. Instead, Mrs. Catherine exploded with anger. She accused Grace of forgetting her place, reminded her she was only a nanny, and ordered her to pack her things. Grace had been dismissed. Grace stood there silently for a moment. Then, with dignity and calm, she said that her knowledge had saved Olivia's life, but Mrs. Catherine refused to help save her sister. Grace added that she would pray for her, because a heart without compassion needed healing more than any body. With that, Grace walked out of the house. The following morning, Olivia cried uncontrollably, demanding Grace's return. Jason, filled with guilt, admitted that what his mother did was wrong. Sarah confronted Mrs. Catherine in anger. Mr. David then revealed the final truth. Grace's passport had been hidden away illegally, trapping her in silence and fear. 6 months later, a new sign appeared. Grace Medical Center, healthcare for all. Grace stood proudly in her white coat, her sister healthy beside her. Olivia ran into her arms. Mrs. Catherine approached, broken and ashamed, asking for forgiveness. Grace forgave her, not out of weakness, but strength. Grace's story proved one thing. Your color does not define your worth. Your position does not define your value. Your actions do. And when compassion replaces cruelty, humanity always wins.